Good day, folks. Everything new under the sun. I've not had a lot of time to make videos. This one is important, I think. It speaks to almost the calling for civil war, civil unrest in the U.S. You talk about people talking about, civil war, or there being no election happening, martial law, these sorts of things going on. And that was all conspiracy. But I think this year, in the run up to the U.S. presidential elections, there's no time that is more lined up for that sort of situation than now. This is President Biden speaking about Trump after his address after the Iowa caucus win. So let's take a listen to this. I think it's very important.
The things that Trump is saying. Trump is saying things that are just off the wall. He is most anti-democratic with a small d president in American history. The things he's saying, and he means them. He's talking about he's running to get revenge on people. He's running because he wants to see to it that, it's just outrageous things. For example, he said the other day that because our economy is doing so well and getting better and better, he said he's looking forward to a recession, so a depression, because he does not want to, he wants it to happen on, quote, my watch. He wouldn't be talking about this if he didn't acknowledge that the economy is doing pretty damn well, and particularly for people who, in fact, need the most help.
All right, folks. That is Biden again speaking after Trump's address at the Iowa caucus after winning that kind of hands down. And I saw a televised address of him saying similar things, and it is significant. I think it's okay for candidates, or it seems okay for candidates to say things that are escalatory, that are like that kind of push the envelope. But as the acting president, to say that your leading opponent is anti-democratic, and that he's going to tear things down, that sort of thing. I think it's effectively the insurrection by Biden. If you called what Trump did in terms of telling supporters to walk to the Capitol, if you call that insurrection, I think you'd have to agree that Biden's language is very similar. He's not coming out and saying, start a civil war or start an uprising against Trump, but he is really coming out and defaming Trump. So I think it's interesting. Let's take a look at this. Take a look at this. This is Maddow melts down over rise of fascism. Joy Reid says Trump Iowa caucus landslide proves white Christians are racist. So leftist Rachel Maddow complained after a rise of fascism after Donald Trump easily won the Iowa caucus in a landslide. So if you know the results by now, here's the Iowa caucus results. Trump winning 51% of the vote, I believe it is. And Rachel Maddow says, if we're worried about our democracy failing to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government, the leader who is trying to do that is part of that equation, is a much bigger part of that equation, she said. Rachel Maddow admits on air that they've decided to censor the leading Republican candidate victory speech and will decide what they want the public to know later. I saw a CNN clip of this, and CNN literally spoke over top. They said the person, the commentator, literally, as they showed the video in behind, he said, this is the winner, this is Donald Trump, the winner of the Iowa caucus, speaking underneath my voice, and he kept saying, talking, but didn't let anybody actually hear what he was saying. It's incredible that news media is allowed to do this, really. I guess they're allowed to in a free country, but we've never seen it before, really, where they simply do not provide, let other people hear, the other side hear the opponent's victory speech of a caucus. Incredible. MSNBC, Joy Reid led this effort by declaring that white Christians are racists who want minorities to bow down to them. Joy Reid said this. So, folks, are they coming for the Christians? They absolutely are. They came for the Jews, and no one did anything. Now they're coming for the Christians, and they're going to come for everybody else. Folks are coming after you. Reed explained to anyone who was confused about their white Christian neighbors. She apparently said, all the things that we think about electability, about what are people gaming out, but none of that matters when you believe that God has given you this country, that it is yours, and that everybody who is not white conservative Christian is a fraudulent American, is a less real American. Did you know that I think it's Hispanics are significantly voting and in favor of Trump and Republicans in general, and the black vote is also very, very significant. Even is it more for Trump now? I don't know what the exact numbers are, but increasingly more and more people from every nation, tongue, color of skin, whatever, are moving towards Trump. It's incredible. And so they're really saying a lot of stuff that's pretty incredible. She later added, "It is religion, and I think that we have to actually confront, and this is what the Democrats are going to face. Is now what white evangelicalism is? It is Christian nationalism. That's the name of it, right?" She asks, I guess sarcastically. "It is all part of the white and evangelical Christian of a certain mindset, and they own this country. That immigrants, that brown people, like that Hindus, Vivek Ramaswamy and his wife are illegitimate Americans." By the way, Ramaswamy, after the Iowa caucus, came out and said he supported Trump. So you have apparently a brown person, a Hindu, who comes out and supports Trump. So I don't know. I guess the white evangelical Christians, are against Vivek Ramaswamy. Meanwhile, he is supporting Trump, who is supposed to be the biggest dictatorial racist of them all. I don't know. It's incredible. By the way, so I would say look out for 2024 in terms of civil unrest, in terms of civil disorder, and black swan events that will give the government, specifically Biden, because they don't have another person to replace Biden yet that we know of. Watch for a black swan that will put on pause the national elections. Now, I've always thought that was conspiracy theory before, when people suggested that could happen. But now, with the rhetoric against Trump, now, Trump's not the greatest guy. He's not the savior. He's not going to save America. But it's incredible, the hatred against Trump. And you have the guys like Vivek coming and supporting Trump, a very intelligent guy. I thought he was the kind of the second best presidential candidate for the Republicans, Vivek Ramaswamy, and he is out to support Trump. So that's an interesting thing. But yeah, look for a black swan event which could maybe pause the election. Did you know what has happened in Ukraine? Zelensky was voted into power, but then once Russia invaded, they went to martial law. They haven't held democratic elections since. So Zelensky is held on the power, dictatorship power, because of martial law due to war. Will the United States all of a sudden enter a war and declare war in order to, declare martial law and therefore not have elections? Again, I've said it once, I'll say it again. I thought that was conspiracy before. But you know what? The more these people come out and inspire insurrection, inspire, the religious left to gang up and do crazy stuff, the more it looks like that could very well be the possibility. What's another thing that could maybe put elections on pause? Well, how about a disease X? How about a new pandemic? Maybe a brain affecting disease, maybe that comes out of China again, right? Wouldn't that be a good opportunity to delay elections indefinitely and to keep Biden in power or whomever is in power? So they put a piece of legislation through the House of Representatives under the radar called Disease X Act of 2023. And so what's the point of it? To establish a program, let me scroll up, to establish a program at BARDA for developing medical countermeasures for viral threats with pandemic potential. Not just actual pandemic, but pandemic potential. And to develop countermeasures to deal with a potential pandemic. What does that mean? Lock you down in preparation because there might be a pandemic coming, or do things proactively. It's interesting. It says everyone should take a look at what some of the members in Congress want and are willing to take from you. One good eye or two, it's clear. Thank you for your service, Lieutenant Commander. Who do you serve now? Big Pharma whistleblower Brooke Jackson wrote. It says the WEF and the World Health Organization will join forces next week at the annual Davos Summit to discuss a hypothetical future pandemic. Did they do this already? Yeah, that was Event 201. You remember it, right? They practiced a future pandemic, and sure enough, a year or so later came the pandemic. Well, they're discussing a hypothetical pandemic 2.0, which is 20 times more fatal than COVID. Now they have this disease X that Dr. John Campbell has spoken of in China already in the labs that has killed 100% of the mice it infected. And so if that gets out, could that be a 20 times more fatal than COVID-19 in humans when all things are said and done? Possibly. The World Health Organization knows all about this since it's on the internet. Is this a future pandemic they're getting ready for? With fresh warnings from the World Health Organization that an unknown disease X could result in 20 times more fatalities. Wow, didn't they say there will be millions upon millions of fatalities from this existing one? Well, now they're saying the second one's going to be even better. You wait, they say. This one's going to be even bigger and better than the last one. 20 times more fatalities than coronavirus pandemic. What novel efforts are needed to prepare healthcare systems for multiple challenges ahead? So, incredible. Preparing for Disease X. Date January 17th, that is tomorrow, for this World Economic Forum meeting. So, what are they getting ready for? Is there a black swan coming? There are so many things lined up. A pausing of election it would be advantageous for the Democrats to find a new leader. They would love to not allow Trump to get voted in, as they see that's inevitable now. They've been trying to take him out with impeachments and lawsuit after lawsuit and criminal investigation after criminal investigation. Maybe if they could figure out a way to delay elections, that would allow them to make some different arrangements. So, civil war in the United States. Again, I've never thought that was a possible thing. I always thought that was kind of conspiracy theory, but folks, the way all the commentators are speaking and the left is speaking, the Democrats, about Trump and the mega Trump folks and all these things, they are basically putting out hate speech. And if you have anyone act on that, I would say that's a declaration. What these people are saying is akin to anything that was said during the January 6th or whatever it was, so-called insurrection. It's the same or worse, and they are fomenting violence, and they're going to increase in their rhetoric as it gets closer to the actual elections. Be prepared, folks. Of any election year, I could actually see this in the U.S. being postponed, being delayed, or going into some sort of martial law because World War III has been declared, something like that. Buckle up, folks. It's incredible days we're living in. I'll leave it there, guys. We'll see you in the next video.